everyone, we had Nancy in the house. So Nancy is our Chevening scholars in 2016 and 2017. And she's from Indonesia. She just went back to Indonesia around 1 week ago. She stayed in the last day as I did, and I felt like, wow. So can you tell a bit, how did you feel after more than 1 year in the UK?
Hi, everyone. Like all Cheveners, I think I to the similar experience like you do. After 1 year in UK, and you go back to your country, and probably there is like there's a shock, culture shock that you are especially me come from Indonesia, where all the infrastructure is not as good as well in London. And yeah, but it's been fun. I've been enjoying my time in Indonesia, chill out a little bit, then get used to Indonesian circumstance, and just updated myself with what happened in my country. So it's
Wow,
been great.
lovely. So I can see and I can feel your vibe, and you kind of like already get back and immerse again with the vibe in Indonesia. So you mentioned a really great point about because you went to the UK and everything there like really organized. The culture is different, and then we went back Indonesia. Maybe you, I think a lot of us probably have like reverse culture shock. So could you share the way you kind of like handle that kind of emotion or that kind of state of mind? Yeah.
Well, at first, of course, arriving in Indonesia, and there is like when you arrive and you want to take your luggage, as this is like a very real experience for me. There is no queue to take your luggage. Just everybody's just like coming. But it's very normal in Indonesia, and you cannot be upset. Well, of course you can upset, but you cannot be too upset about it, and then just need to follow whatever happened in front of you. So in that case, getting back and have a lot of patience, and I think it's very important, and also to keep you grounded, because this is your country. We need to work hard, and because you know better it doesn't mean that everybody is wrong, something like that. So you need to be really because you know better, then you need to be humble, I think,
Yeah.
about
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So, do you have any like practice that helping you to being grounded or patient when you just first went back Indonesia? Because there's some friend like they kind of like maybe they writing. And what about your case? Do you have any kind of like practice, like practical advice that people can literally practice and to get back to life?
Mm. Oh, okay. For me, I think it is very good if you can structure your life. I'm a runner. I run a lot. So I run marathon. I run that kind of long distance running. So at the moment at the moment I get back to Indonesia, after I finished with the jet lag and everything, and I started to get back to my running. So
Oh,
in the morning you get up and you go running, and after that then you start to structure yourself, because the more you're being active, I think it's the more easier for you to adapt with
yeah.
the situation. So I think that's one practical thing that you can do. And it's for the physical, but for the other thing in your professional life, I think because I'm a business owner,
Huh?
and well, a lot of my contacts it's been dormant for like 1 year. So I start to sending emails to my clients, or just to let them know that I'm back, I'm ready for business. But
Yeah.
I take it slowly. So that's how I structure my day at first, and
Ah.
it's been great.
Oh, thank you for sharing, because even the bells over there ringing like go for running, please. So I like the way you said, and the practical advice you then mentioned, like when we exercise, we do physical exercise, we open
Yeah.
our body because our body and our mind connected. And if we open
Very
our
true.
body, we change the state of mind and we can like think clear. And they say, okay, what we gonna do in our day? And another thing that you said, like we can reconnect with our network and get
Yes.
engaged again. Beautiful. And what about the network in Indonesia? Do you contact with like Chevening network over there?
Well, we've been talking through WhatsApp group almost every day. You know, the
Ah.
Chevening Indonesia is really, we're really chatty. So, like every day there will be something like, you know, people like just sending news, or they just talking,
Huh?
or people get together to have a lunch together, something like that. So we
Right.
always in touch with our fellow chiefners in Indonesia. So it's been great. And also this Wednesday we will have like homecoming event in Indonesia.
Ah.
So we were going together. Every one of us will meet. We'll have a big reunion. So yeah,
Oh,
it's been
lovely.
great. Yeah.
It's like to still keep the vibe of like excitement and you also collaboration right in that
Yeah.
network. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Absolutely.
yeah. Don't forget that evening is live networking. That's what they said when you study the whole life network. So you mentioned that you actually had your own business. So can you share about your entrepreneurship journey? Like how did you like ended up to work on that kind of business? Because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of I think like entrepreneurs would love to do their own business, especially
Mm-hmm.
what after going to UK. Yeah.
Okay. So I started the business. The idea started in 2007.
Mhm.
Me and my two friends, we talk about how to create like some pattern with fractal algorithm, mathematical fractal algorithm. And then we find that this fractal algorithm can create flower like, or you know, just some flowers or plants pattern that similar to batik. Like the
Ah.
batik is a very is a like culture heritage that's
Ah.
in term of textile in Indonesia.
Mm.
So then we move forward that we said, okay, this can, we can create a software out of this because we like technology and we feel like we can bring something new into the tradition.
Mm.
So fast forward to the next year, managed to get some support from the government. We managed to get some support from investor, like seed investor. At that time, there's the startup community, the startup vibe is not like this because this is like we can find in Indonesia startup is growing, but back then when I started, it's not like this.
Ah.
So it's with a lot of difficulties. Finally, we get some support.
Ah. How many years ago did you start that?
But then we are formally forming our company. We start our company is in 2010.
Oh
So
wow.
so yeah,
Almost
so in
8 years.
2010 we are become like officially become commercial. We commercialize our software. We commercialize our byproducts, and it's been very sustainable. And at the moment, oh no, since our company is a social enterprise,
Ah.
so we serve the traditional artisans in Indonesia. So we train them on how to use our software so they can create batik pattern easily and with with much shorter time than what they're usually doing manually.
Oh.
So at this moment, we have 3,000 users around Indonesia, around the country,
Wow.
and our products been selling in Indonesia, in Malaysia, in Australia,
Huh?
in France, and in Canada. So
Wow.
we expanding. Yeah, that's
Not
we are very
Vietnam yet.
happy.
Soon.
Yeah, then yeah, we are expanding, and we are very happy and with the situation nowadays that our software is recognized as one of the best innovations in ethic and culture field.
Wow, congratulations and great. And actually, I saw you are one of the six Indonesian creative pioneers and also Asia's 21st young leader. So we have a lot of things gonna learn from Nancy. I don't know today we can cover it or not. So maybe we're gonna have another day about entrepreneurship because today we kind of
Yeah,
like
please.
yeah because today like you will cover everything like we're gonna keep you the whole night. So, can you share about when you had an idea like that? How did you get the support from the government? Because I found maybe that could be like one of the things helping your process like happen easier. Maybe
Mhm.
that's what I think. What do you think? Can you share about that?
Okay. At that time, we we how it does it start? There's a program from a government, from the Ministry of Technology, where they
Ah,
invite all the young people to submit their vision,
hmm.
so they can give like a grant to build their idea. So we
Ah,
submit ours, and then we got selected as one of the ideas that they will give grant. So
ah,
so yeah, that's how it started. Then and after the grant, they held like big exhibition, and then we got uh, to exhibit and to display our innovation. And then yeah, start from that. We have exposure, we have publications, we have people who interest with what are we doing, and then we have another grant. Then yeah, we start from there. I think
wow,
yeah, that's
yeah.
how we start.
Oh, lovely. So it's like when we have an idea and we believe in it and we get support from others, it can get like exposure easier, right? So can you
Yeah.
share that? How did you keep that? I believe during that journey is like not easy to be like persistent. So
Hmm.
how did you guys keep that kind of momentum and perseverance? Yeah.
um it is certainly not easy because your business is one of the, I think at the moment, is the hardest thing I ever done in my life.
Oh, yeah. Well
Yeah,
done.
yes. But I think it is very good to appreciate small winnings. So
Ah.
so because building a business is like running series of marathons, and it's not like doing it like one in one night and you will be successful. So it's really really important during that long term you make like milestones. Then
Ah.
there's this milestone that you make sure that you reach the milestone and it become your small winning, and after that you reach another milestone and become your small winning. So that's how we keep the momentum, that's how we keep motivating ourselves. Then in that way, then we can really measure our progress, and then we can follow up with, okay, what next and what next and what next. I think that's how we do it.
Oh, lovely. So you mentioned about making like a milestone. Normally, how did you plan like in how many years in advance and how small the milestone, like 1 month or 3 months?
Usually we have like this big vision where we are going to do it, like in 3 years we're going to achieve this. But yearly we also have like, okay, in 1 year we're going to do this, but we will break it down again in quarterly. So in 3 months we're going to do this, in the next 3 months we're going to do this. Because business is, it's easily changed, so you cannot plan
Yeah.
too long ahead, because
Yeah.
everything will change.
Yeah.
Then you need to be really really flexible. So
Yeah.
that's why I think it's not very helpful if you plan like in 10 years
Yeah.
Yeah, so because it's nowadays, like, the situation is changing and your plan is changing and
Totally.
plenty things happen, so yeah, you need to be very
Yeah.
flexible.
Yeah, you totally right. Like you're like 10 years not working anymore because everything is
Yeah.
changed like by sudden. So yeah, it's so beautiful. That is about entrepreneurship. I think another day we're gonna like ask you more about that. So
Yes.
in terms of the leadership, I think it's also really important part of Chevening. Could you share about how did you or how have you developed your leadership over the years before you started your own business and during that? So could you share if like a person who never had any position, how would they cultivate the leadership over time? Yeah.
I think leadership for me is leadership means impact for me.
Ah.
So if you doing whatever you do in whatever job or whatever field you are doing,
Mm-hmm.
you need to make sure that you create impact. Then it is leadership, in my opinion. So it doesn't matter if you're in manager position or not, as long as you make impact, you do your job really well, you making impact, you're a part of a big team, and you do your job, and at the end you bring impact.
Mm-hmm.
It is already showing leadership. Then you can
Mm-hmm.
step up from there, then you
Ah.
have impact. Then, and after that, I think the next step will be inspiring, to inspire people. I think that's the core of leadership, in my opinion.
Oh, lovely. So how did you realize that kind of like core values of leadership?
uh, it's when I think it's when I started to do, I think when I started to do my business, because a lot of people, most of people do their business because they want to make money. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not that money is not important. Of course, it is important. It
Mm-hmm.
is also like the parameter of your of your success of your business.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think what's more important is how I can direct my business to really serve the people, that the community that use my product. So
Mm-hmm.
in that case, I really need to display my leadership, my ability to inspire people, my ability to change their behavior.
Ah.
So, and also my ability to create a product that can change their life, that can change whatever they do. And in this case, the their work as a batik artisans.
Ah.
So that's how I realize, and that's what I do. And it sounds easy if I say it, but it takes a lot to do that, because it takes time, and it takes perseverance,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes patience, and it
Mm-hmm.
takes the ability to communicate what you want to do to other people.
Oh, okay. So you mentioned about patient and communication. So could you share about let's talk about communication because it's another part of
Mm-hmm.
Chevening scholarship also, and somehow they really emphasize on that ability of our tuners, official leaders. Could you share
Mm-hmm.
about your advice or your practical advice on better communication? Yeah.
Yes. In communication, I think it is very important to know your audience.
Mm.
So yeah, I work with uh, multiple stakeholders. I work with multiple audiences. Sometimes I have to speak in front of investors. I have to speak in front of my fellow entrepreneurs. I
Mm.
have to speak in front of the government people. I have to speak in front of the leaders of the countries, or the leaders of the corporations.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have to speak to the artisans,
Mm.
which they have like various backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
then it is really important to speak in their language, to
Mm.
speak in the way that they understand.
Mm.
Because if you force the way you speak to some people that is not matched, and they don't understand what you are trying to say, so
Mm-hmm.
the communication itself will fail. So for me, it is very important to put yourself in the shoes of your audience. So that's the key for I think for communication.
Yeah, so you said like understand the audience and know their
Yes,
languages.
yes.
So how can you know their languages? What would be the way for us to know their languages?
For I in my opinion, to know how to speak to people is just, you need to have this ability and flexibility, and also you have to have this knowledge
Mm-hmm.
on the local culture, as example, or how they usually communicate to each other. Then you need to pick up the cues really fast.
Ah.
Like, okay, like if in some area you need to be like really polite, then you have to do so. But in some stages you need to be like really assertive, then you have to do so. So you need to have like the knowledge. You can find it with books,
Uh-huh.
reading a lot, talk to a lot of people, and I think it's very important also to read the cue that, the intangible cues that you can see, like just to mimic the people around you. I think that's
Oh,
very important.
lovely. You mentioned on that point. You mentioned on book. So, what would be the book that you recommend, or what is the book that actually impact on you the most? Yeah.
um the book that really impact me, I have a lot of books, and I have a lot of books, but I think the one that really impacts me right now is what is the last so I'm reading a book, which actually I read a lot of books, but and I cannot like pinpoint one book that really
Yeah.
really impacted me right now.
So
I think
yeah.
in terms of communication, I think it is very useful if we just experience by ourselves, or read about a book about culture in another area.
Oh, so you don't remember any book now, but it is also like imply that we should read a lot of books until we don't even remember how many books we read. Okay, so do you schedule reading every day?
Yeah, I schedule reading
Uh-huh.
every day,
Okay.
and I just finished one book and I started another book. So I try to schedule like 2 or 3 hours per day to read.
Oh wow, 2 or 3 hours, my friend. Can you
Yeah.
hear that? Not only 30 minutes, yeah. you you need to feed your mind a lot every day. That's why like you started your business early and you got to the success right now. So it comes from a lot of dedication over time on personal development, I believe. So
Yes.
now we talk a bit about like we now we go back about you before you apply for Chevening. Like why did you decide to do that, and what do you think the reason for you to be like standing out among others? Yeah.
Um. Actually, I started by wanting to study abroad. So,
Mm-hmm.
Chevening is I found later on, later after I decided to study abroad, and by applying Chevening, um, I think I applied because I see this very very strong network, and I see that it will benefit me as a person,
Mm-hmm.
and it will benefit me also in my work.
Mm-hmm.
And also I think I can benefit the Chevening community through my achievement, through my work, through my
Uh-huh.
experience that I can share, that we can build together the community, because I believe Chevening is just like the community of leaders, future leaders. And then if we become future leaders, in the future we become leaders, then it would be great for us if we become friends for now. From the very beginning we become friends. Like probably you become the prime minister, and I'm like, I'm gonna be like you. But it's very good. Like from the start we already friends.
Yeah.
So it's very, very, very good if we are in the future that we can have this sort of, collaboration between countries or between companies. It's just, it's my friend in Chevening.
Yeah.
So it becomes easier. So it's not merely about business or about political reason, but also because we are friends. So I think it is very important, and I think that's one of the most important things that I see, why I choose Chevening. Yeah, I can give contribution, and also I can benefit myself from Chevening community.
Oh, I love the thing the way you say, like you actually come from a place of giving, that you're going to make some contribution. So it's also come from like you are really aware of your values, and you mentioned on a little on friendship can be like a great base for our future relationship and collaboration.
Yeah, sure.
So can you share? I think it's only more like 40 minutes, not 30 minutes, I think. So let's have like how did you stand out during the application? What do you think?
I think for you to be able to stand up during application is to really highlight your achievement and what have you done and what do you want to do in the future, and it needs to be aligned. You cannot just like, okay, I've done this but I want to do totally different thing. So there is no correlation. If there's no correlation, then I think Chevening committee will not gonna be impressed. So the thing that I think that makes me stand out is what I did and what is my future plan, and and that's it. That's why Chevening require us to have like minimum 2 years working experience, so they can track that we have, so they can see our track record, what we are doing and what we want to achieve in the future. I think that's it.
Lovely. So let's move to the maybe last one before letting you go today. So how did you make the best out of the year in UK? Do you have like, any advice if anyone wants to make the best out, look back and say, oh, I did it and I made the best out of that? Yeah.
I think as intellectuals, we, and as Cheveners, we are very, we are very comfortable in academic environment. We are very comfortable in that. But I suggest you to go out. To go out. Yes, just don't just study. You need. I think I enjoy my time in UK because first I travel, I meet people, I go to a lot of I go to concert, I went to a museum, I went to galleries, I went around London, I went to a lot of places, and also I do some part-time job in London. So in that case, I acquire experience usually. I mean, like as chief nurse, you are very, very comfortable in academic issue or in development issue or leadership issue, but can you really position yourself in, in London as someone in London?
Yeah, as a local person. Yeah.
As a local person.
Yeah.
So I met people that is not from universities. They're not studying. They're just people in London. As they are Londoners. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a very That's the thing that is really highlighted my experience while during my 1.5 years in London.
Wow, beautiful. As you mentioned that you be like a local person. That is the whole point of going there and immerse
Yeah,
in the local culture and activities. And it's beautiful because you had your business and you do the full time and then you also have part time. So if you could do that, I think we all somehow can learn and schedule our time and do things outside of our
very
schedule.
true,
Yeah.
very true.
All right. So, do you have any advice for any future achievers or anyone going to study in next year? Is anything that you want to share before we let you go today and welcome another day?
For my fellow chiefners, let's stay together. I mean, let's stay connected. So hopefully in the future we can collaborate more. I mean, like it's time. Like Chevening is very, very. I think it's very exclusive. Sometimes we are not. I think it's not. We are not heard enough. So let's our work speak louder for our Chevening organization. So let's stay connected. And also for you who wants to be part of Chevening community, just make sure that you are really, really like and you are passionate about what you are doing. And it will show. It will show to the Chevening committee that if you really want to get to be part of this community, make sure that you really like what you are doing and be consistent and achieve something in what you are doing.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for your last but not least, like from the bottom of your heart saying, and your experience also. So I'm really looking forward to welcome you another day to sharing about entrepreneurship because
Thank you, Jen.
yeah.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward for it.
Yeah, from scholarship to entrepreneurship and leadership, they all ship. Yeah, we are all like in a ship of the universe. So, thank you so much for today, Nancy.
Thank you, Jen. Have a lovely day, lovely evening for
Yeah,
you.
and welcome to Vietnam. If you want to expand your business to Vietnam, and
Yes.
you give me a shout, and if I can do anything.
Absolutely. You need to take me to the best first shop.
Oh, so you like pho?
Oh, I love it much.
Where did you eat that?
We have like pho in Indonesia, but I think some of my friends said it's not really authentic. So I want
Ah.
to taste the real pho in
Yeah, I
Vietnam.
absolutely I can bring you to real pho. Maybe made by my mom. It would be
Oh,
even more real.
amazing!
Yeah,
Even though,
I think that would be the most original one. No
yes.
commercial purpose. Yeah. All right. So
All
thank
right.
you, and
Thank you,
say
Jen.
your family and your friend and every student there. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Have a nice
Bye.
evening.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, my friends. Hope you enjoy the video, and don't forget to support our channel by subscribing so I can share with you more tools, techniques with videos, postcards and books to help you to develop your personal and business life to the next level, and also apply all the tools and techniques, tips that I share with you in today's video, and then share with us what are your tips and share with your friends, so probably your friend gonna get benefit. And also download the guide One Page Achiever, the productivity tool to help you to plan your day, take control your day, be more productive, be more vibrant, be more non-stop, loving, living and giving every single moment of life. Love you.